Hi, are you wondering if the MSI GP63 Leopard is a good choice among other gaming laptops? Today we're gonna check it out by reviewing it, testing in games, and comparing to the competition's laptops from the same price range. It's a fast gaming laptop with excellent display, great cooling system, and affordable price, so if you're looking for one you might be interested. As always, in the video description I left Amazon links for US and UK residents to check the current price of all the laptops that I will be talking about in this review. To skip to any part of this video you can use the timestamps that I also left in the description. I'm Chris from techfindsreview.com and now let's jump into the review. Let's start with the design, but really quick. Leopard, as same as most of MSI laptops, is black with red accents. The top panel is metal with brushed aluminum texture, two red strips, and MSI logo that lights up when the laptop is on. The deck and bottom are made of plastic, which helps maintain lightweight, but to be honest it feels cheap. The dimensions of Leopard are not big for a gaming laptop, but now in the era of thin bezel displays it looks big comparing to other laptops. Here is how it looks comparing to the 2018 model of HP Omen 15 with thin bezel display, but it's slightly smaller than Acer Predator Helios 300 or Dell G7. Under the laptop you can find small rubber fits, and I don't usually mention that in my reviews, but now I have to, because in MSI GP63 they do a really poor job with preventing the laptop from sliding. It just doesn't happen in other gaming laptops. By the way, I found one screw covered by warranty sticker, which means that you will probably void the warranty if you open it up, so I suggest you to get the configuration that you're not gonna upgrade in the near future. Inside you can see a nice looking keyboard made by SteelSeries. Despite the plastic deck, the keyboard is stiff, which makes the typing experience more comfortable, although there is minimal flex when pressing it hard. The keys have long 1.9mm travel distance, and what I like the most in this keyboard is that every key has this transparent stroke, thanks to which you can see more light coming out of it. In the MSI Control Center application you can set the color and brightness for each of 3 zones separately. You can also apply different effects and save your own custom presets. One more thing that I like is that you have 2 dedicated buttons, one for Cooler Boost and one for MSI Control Center app. The touchpad uses Synaptics drivers and it's fine for occasional use. The only complaint I've got is that the mouse is moving while tapping the surface to click, so sometimes it happens to misclick. But to avoid that you can use the dedicated buttons. If it comes to port selection, on the left hand side you have security lock, Ethernet, HDMI 2.0, mini display ports, USB 3.1 Type A, USB 3.1 Type-C, 3.5mm headphone jack, and 3.5mm microphone jack. On the right side you have SD card slot, 2 USB 3.1 Type-A, and power input. The display is 1080p 120Hz TN panel with 3 milliseconds response time. It provides very smooth gameplay and it's fast, but not the fastest comparing to the competition that usually offers 144Hz screens. The G-Sync is not available here too. Despite this is not the fastest display, I find it having the best color accuracy in this price range. The sRGB color reproduction is 100% and 88% for Adobe RGB, so I highly recommend it for content creation unless you want to spend more money for a laptop with 4K display. Now this is TN panel, but the viewing angles are still good. I also didn't notice any backlight bleeding, so I took a long exposure photo to see more details. And now I can honestly say that this display is a good quality, as expected from MSI laptop. If you're interested, there is also 17-inch version of this laptop called GP73. Both are available with GTX 1060 or GTX 1050 Ti and i7-8750H processor, but I couldn't find any GTX 1050 Ti model at respectable price. The price of MSI GP63 with GTX 1060 starts from $1100 US or 1100 British pounds. The 17-inch model is about the same price as 15-inch in the US, but in the UK the price is much higher. In the description I left Amazon links for US and UK residents so you can find the configuration that suits you best and check the current price. The speakers are located under device on both sides and they are pretty loud for a 15-inch laptop, but I found the sound too flat. That's strange because this laptop has really big speakers that you can't find in many gaming laptops, but despite that I couldn't enjoy punchy bass even on decent level. To control sound you have Nahimic app. You can choose sound profile from few presets or set it yourself manually. Personally I was the most happy with the settings that you can see now. This equalization improved the sound and bass to a decent level. If it comes to performance, my unit comes with GTX 1060, i7-8750H processor, 16 GB of RAM, 128GB M.2 NVMe SSD and 1TB hard drive. This setup provides enough power to play a lot of popular and new titles with 1080p resolution and high to ultra settings. Here is a quick preview of how it performs in games, just to give you an idea, but if you want to see more games tested, check out my gaming benchmark video where I tested 20 different games on the MSI GP63. You can find the link in the description or click the card above. Okay, so now let's talk about cooling system, because I'm really surprised what MSI has done for cooling in this device. And I believe that this is the biggest advantage of this laptop. It has 7 heat pipes, of which 3 are dedicated for CPU and 2 for GPU separately, and 4 exhausts, 2 on the back and 1 on each side. I measured the temperatures while gaming with max fan speed mode, and my results returned average temperatures of 82 degrees on the CPU and 72 degrees on the GPU. Thermal throttling didn't occur during my test, but the power limit throttling took place. However, the clock speed was still on high level of 3.6 to 3.9 GHz all the time when gaming. This is one of the best results among 15-inch laptops that I've tested so far, so if you pay much attention to temperatures, you should consider this laptop. The battery life hits around 3.5 up to 4 hours when browsing the web or doing light productivity work. When gaming, battery dies after 1 hour, so nothing special here. These are the average results for a gaming laptop. Alright, as I mentioned before, we're gonna compare the MSI GP63 to other gaming laptops just to give you an idea of what you can choose from, so you don't have to spend so much time for research. If you want to see full review of any of the laptops that I will be talking about now, check the video description to find the links. So let's start with the Dell G7, which comes with pretty much the same hardware, but the GPU is GTX 1060 Max-Q, that is about 10% weaker than full-size GTX 1060. This configuration costs $1,300 when the Leopard costs $1,200 with the configuration shown, but the biggest difference is display. Dell G7 has only 60Hz panel, which is dim, and it has poor color reproduction. The reason why you might want to choose G7 over the MSI is that it has Thunderbolt 3 port and low power consumption GPU, but anyway, in my opinion, Leopard shows much better value for the money. The next laptop is the 2018 model of HP Omen 15. The configuration is the same, but the biggest difference is price. You can get the 60Hz version of Omen for $1,200 or 144Hz with G-Sync for about $1,500. Leopard costs $1,200 with 120Hz display, so it's not that fast as 144Hz Omen, and it doesn't support G-Sync, but for sure it has better color reproduction, brightness and more affordable price. Omen might be a good choice if you need a portable device, because it's much smaller than Leopard and it has better battery life. If you want more details, you can watch my in-depth comparison of the MSI GP63 and HP Omen 15. Link will be in the description. Next laptop that I would like to mention is the Acer Predator Helios 300, and I also compared it to Leopard in detail on separated videos, so you can check it out. But in brief, Predator has much better build quality and it gives you better bang for your buck. You can get it for $1,200 with the configuration that you can see now, but some compromises had to be made in order to have it for that price. Predator has only red backlight on keyboard and decent port selection, and if it comes to color accuracy, Leopard wins. The last laptop on our list is the Asus ROG Strix Scar 2 that has great cooling, tons of RGB lights, and one of the fastest available screens on the market. It's 144Hz IPS panel with 3 milliseconds response time, so compared to Leopard's display it's much faster but still not better color accurate. This device is also smaller than GP63 thanks to thin bezel display, and personally I like its design. You can get it for about $1,500 with GTX 1060, so if it comes to price I think that Leopard is more affordable option. It will give you pretty much the same performance, but of course you get better overall experience using Scar 2. So if the price is not a deal breaker, you can check this laptop in detail on Mathias Tech channel. Alright, that's all for today, and I hope you found this video helpful. Check the video description to find Amazon links for the laptops that I mentioned and for more related reviews. Also feel free to share your thoughts in the comments, and if you like this kind of reviews it would be awesome if you hit thumb up or maybe consider subscribing TechFinds for more. On my channel you can find detailed laptop reviews, laptop comparisons, different tutorials and more. Now thanks for your time and see you in the next review.